Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning, one and all. This is N. Raju, and we'll be continuing the topic related to mechatronics. That is sensors or different types of sensors that are being utilized for the operational involvement in the mechatronics components, the various components of mechatronics systems. Initially, we'll process with respect to the sensors operational basis. That means how the sensors are being worked and what is meant by sensor and what is meant by transducer, how it plays a major important role for transferring the signals from one place to the another place and giving the feedback alignments after completing the particular task at different levels in the production unit when you have been considered in the live productional units or manufacturing containment areas. Moving on to the basic definition of the sensor, it is an element which is not subject to a physical change but experience a related change. Nothing but there will be a alignment sensing that which is being diffracted from a system will be identified by the particular sensor and will give the feedback to the controller. Let us consider the example of LVDT, linear variable differential transducer. So transducer, we have to know what this transducer, what is meant by transducer. So let me explain the transducer first and coming back to the example of LVDT. So it is an element subject to a physical change experienced to a related change. All right. So transducer is a device that is being transferred the signal that has been sensed by a sensor to one place to another place, and corresponding actions will be getting monitored by this particular transducer to the controller. That is an basic working terminology of this transducer. Here, tactile sensors. So sensor is nothing but an sensing element which used to transmit a particular change, even the sinusoidal change that is being taking place within the particular system. All right, let us consider that system is LVDT. This is an example: linear, variable, differential, transducer. So here we already aware of this transducer and hence linear variable. So linearly variable in the sense manual change or variations within the micrometer will be differentiated with respect to the digital characterizations, and it is very much difficult indeed to calculate even with the formula existing with the micrometer, that is indeed to identify the least count or else the basic operations MSR plus VSR into least count. And hence the sinusoidal, that is pointal variations, or we'll be calling it as an float values. So even the float values are also being calculated with perfect accuracy when the system has been monitored with respect to the manual variations. Automatically it will be grasped, the transducer will translate or across the signals transmitting with the help of this sensing device. There is tactile sensors will be placed within the systemic devices, will send the feedback signals to the controller, and hence the controller will display by calculating the entire procedural values obtained with perfect accuracy and displayed in the monitor screen. So it is the task of this sensor and transducers alignment or combinational action within the mechatronic systems. Let us know how the performance terminology is being taken place. Moving on with respect to the statistical characterizations. So there will be an limitation for each and every device which is being manufactured. So for this particular sensor and transducer also, there is one particular term, that is range and span. So range in the sense how much distance of variation will be grasped between one system to the another system, and span how much time that particular device will be in active mode without any external affiliations, so or external s- power supply. And that is nothing but transducer. There will be an input limitations, and that will be depending upon the capacity of the sensors or load that has been bared by that particular sensors. So instead of indeed to maintain or bear the highest loads, the capacity of that particular sensor also will be has to be increased while manufacturing. Next, there is a technical term, that is error. So error is the mean difference between the indicated value and the true value, or nothing but the value which is existing already, the standard value to the obtained value, we'll be calling it as an. Here is the example. There is indeed to get the nominal temperature, need to find the nominal temperature of the atmosphere, it is 29 to 31 degrees centigrades. There will be an nominal change related to the atmospheric criteria plus or minus 1. And even these values may be in difference with respect to the pointal variations, also nothing but the float values 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0.001. Those we are maintaining the systemic connections between the interdepartmental strategy is indeed to find out these minute values, which are we'll be calling as an float values also accurately. Next, accuracy. This is the must for any of the mechatronic components without accessing the physical terminology. So it is defined as the ability of the instrument to respond to the true value of the measured value under the reference conditions. So here there's a reference conditions. There's a particular word, that is reference conditions. So reference conditions in the sense already exist in the previous values, the standard values, we'll be calling it as standard values, and these standard values or will be obtaining from the ISO standards. Basically, in the mechanical accessories, will be taking or firstly you will be following the ASTM values, American Society of Testing Materials. So by considering each and every type of the material or that particular type of material utilized for the manufacturing of sensors will be leading to take the values or reference values from the ASTM standards. So here the ASTM stands for American Society of Testing Materials. Later on, comparing to with respect to our ISO standards, Indian standard organizations, depending upon the type of material. So here accuracy is a full range output or full scale deflection. So range output or else is deflection, in the sense there is a slight fluctuations within the readings that are being obtained to the standard values already existing within our historical strategy or historical review standards, we are calling it as a. So whether the experimental values that has been performed by us has been obtained within the limitations of the standard values or not. For example, we need to get the answer for a particular problem in the experimental process is 5.2, but the standard values are existing that if the value has been got within 5 to 5.5, in between the value can be accepted from the core committee. So that is the values. So why that particular values will be accepting within that limit, in the sense it is an iteration process. So in the iteration process, as per the standards in the global wide sector, that experimental will be commenced by the global wide laboratory processes, and differences within that particular values and a particular data is being existing as a proof for getting that particular minimal differences. This is pointal difference 5.1, 0.2, 0.3, like that. So in the global wide, it has been obtained 5.0 to 5.5 in between those values. So depending upon the history or strategical values of one to one country, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5. Like that, the different values has been attained. That is the census record. So if we have been got in the experimental basis within that particular range of values, hence that particular laboratory process is being authorized. So that is the major axis of this accuracy. Or next one, we are moving to sensitivity. So sensitivity, in the sense, is the ratio between output to the input. Ratio of output to the input. Precision. So precision is nothing but the exactness. Even the pointal variations also should not be existing much more. They will be accepting. Just we have been discussed earlier that the value is feasible when in the experimental process we have got the values from 5 to 5.5. But here within that particular float values only need to be got the values. That is nothing but 0.001. That is nothing but the highest precision values. Should not be exceeded even the pointal values also. Slight float values, we will be calling it as. Next one, mysterious error. Mysterious error. It is a technical word that is being utilized to plot a graph between output to the value to be measured quantity. And that is a mysterious error, in the sense. So in the experimental process, upon upon giving the input, the value is being measured in with respect to a quantity. So when the input has been provided to a particular system, we need to measure the output. So output. So the graph that has been plotted between these two different values, that is value of the measured quantity. So value of the measured quantity is being indicated in the x-axis, and output is being mounted in the y-axis. So it is being increasing, and x is being decreasing. So the maximum difference or the mean difference between these two dome line references is nothing but the hysteresis of the phase. The maximum error that is being obtaining in the experimental process is called the hysteresis error. Next one, repeatability. So repeatability, in the sense the same actions or same inputs will be given to the systems. We need to monitor the corresponding outputs. There is a repeatability. And next, the reliability. Reliability is about possibility that it will be performing in an assigned functions. That is nothing but to the standard levels that have been given already to a particular systemic zones. Next one, stability. Stability, in the sense to give a same output when used to measure a constant input. So that will be, it should not be varied between one system to the another system. So if a company has been manufactured the n number of systems, each and every system need to be generated the same output value based on the given input value. That is nothing but the stability. Have to stick to one word, right? So in such a way, has to get only the single value. Simultaneously, it will be an perfection itself, because the programming will be similar for each and every machineries. Next one, technical term is an drift. It is an change in output that occurs over the time on the time basis or the fluctuating of the timings. When the input timings has been varied or processing timings has been varied, simultaneously the slight changes within the output will be getting, and that is called drift. Even we'll be calling it as an variation of the value, that is drift value. Instead of getting the normal accessed value or standard values, a slight changes will be obtaining in the output when the experimental process has been performed. That is called the drift value. This will be getting happened depending upon the time factors. So varied by taking the long time process, it will be getting happened. Even the data time. Data time is nothing but to begin the respond to change in the input value. So input value will be given simultaneously as per the standard values, but the processing will be getting delayed. So because of maybe the input or supply problems, so in such a way the input commands will be delayed to the processor, and hence the slight time variations will be existing. That is called the dead time. Next one, static characteristics. Resolution is nothing but the smallest increment value can be detected. So upon the experimental process, this value will be getting detected and can be rectified even or can be modified. Next one, black ash is an undesirable phenomena, an important precision design of gear trains. So gear here there is a word gear train. The maximum efficiency that we will be getting as per our mechanical standards, that is gear trans- transmissions, that we have been already learned in our com-dom subjects, because the velocity ratio or contact ratio will be very much high, and simultaneously will be getting the velocity ratio increment when compared to the rope drive, chain drive, belt drive, etc., by excluding the all losses factors in the operational process. So even that precisional strategy is also will be obtained. The maximum distance angle will be measured. That measurement and attachment part within the mechanical systems or movement only in one direction is called the black ash. Yeah, here is the major constraints, that is selecting of the different types of transducers, sensors, etc. So how we have to select the sensors, how we have to manufacture the sensors, how we have to position these sensors within the particular uh, devices that we are being utilized. For example, there will be varied with respect to different dimensional accuracies. Different sensors that we are being utilized in our mobile phones, different sensors that we are being utilized in our laptops. So when compared with these both devices within the mobile, there will be an less space occupation, and hence even the device also should be manufactured in very much less in dimensions. And when compared to the mobile, this laptop or a computer device is having the very much high space when compared to the mobile. So hence we can utilize the dimensional accuracies increment while manufacturing the same component which is utilizing in the laptop or our computers. But it should be noted, a major point should be noted, that the efficiency in the operational process should be similar. Even the dimensional accuracies of that particular devices has been changed while manufacturing. Nothing but the same efficiency should be good in the mobile strategy when it has been operated, and similarly in the computer device when it has been operated. So what are the design parameters or different parameters or functionality devices need to be monitored while the sensors and these transducers are being utilized? Here we are having size of the displacement, that is within the that will be taking the standard values. Displacement type linear and angular. So linear in the sense only having the motions in x, y, positive x, negative x, positive y, negative y, and if the three-dimensional element has been given to a particular system, positive z and negative z, simultaneously the angular in the sense, so theta values need to be obtained. It may vary with respect to 0 to 180 or else the 360 degrees. Either it is positive and even the negative. So resolution is required. So resolution in the sense accuracy, resolution, and next accuracy, next material of the object, what the type of material that we are being utilized, whether it is silicon material or germanium material, and upon holding that particular material, whether we are utilizing the steel, brass, gold, argentinum, etc., silver, so on. Next, what is the cost basis when economical criteria? It is an economical criteria need to be taken into the force by considering the entire upper points. So, how many types of sensors? Here, moving on to the types of sensors. So, how many types of sensors we are having in the sense displacement sensors? There is a minimal movement of sensors, positioning sensors, a static operational process, dynamical sensors, proximity sensors without in contact with respect to the physical parameters simultaneously will be getting executed. So position sensors, displacement sensors, dynamical motion will be existing for the sensors, and even though the sensors are in motion, we'll be getting the results back as a feedback. Next, position sensors and the statistical machineries will be giving utilizing these type of sensors for getting the accurate results, and even the results very much costly when compared to the manual process of working. Proximity sensors. Proximity sensors plays a major important role by utilizing particular gestures, that is a voice recognition or touch categorizations. The entire sensors will be getting activated and generating the results as per our convenience. So here, initially we are considering the displacement type of sensors, and the sublimitations of the displacement sensors, we are having the potentiometer, strain gauge, capacitive sensors, and linear variable differential transducers. We'll be seeing one by one. Initially, the potentiometer. Potentiometer, it works on the variation of resistance transduction principle. So this variation of resistance can be considered in two different modes. First one, it is linear mode and rotatory mode. So linear mode motion in the sense sliding actions will be considered, and rotatory motion in the sense the 360 degrees of alignment, the capacity of resistance need to be increased. So the best example is nothing but indeed to increase the motor capacity in the highest fields of range, the resistance is being varied in the experimental basis or laboratory process will be existing in the linear range, and rotatory will be utilizing in our domestical purposes and even in our dynamical vehicles, nothing but automobiles. Comparing with respect to an example, linear in the sense will be utilizing in laboratory process indeed to increase the motor efficiency or drive RPM. Next, will be utilizing this rotatory potentiometers indeed to increase similar RPM. The best example of this potentiometer is our rotating fan, that, which we are utilizing in potentiometer domestically. When you have been increased that particular potentiometer, RPM of the fan will be getting increased, vice versa. So how this constructional basis is being happen will be looking here. There will be three terminals, two ended terminal, one end middle terminal. So ended terminals are connected to the external output, So here the pictorial representation has been given to you. Ended terminals are connected to the output, and middle term is another one more term that is connected. One end will be connected as an output, and two end terminals is connected as an input. The sliding determines the magnitude of the potential difference between the two different terminologies that has been utilized, and that mean difference will be calculated, and that will be displayed in the by the wiper. Next, the strain gauge. Strain gauges or passive type of resistance sensors, and it is utilized for stretching of the actions wherever the minuting of its sizes are required. That is occurred only when the external force has been applied on that particular object. For example, we are taking the duster, we are applying the forces with our fingers, then the stretching accessory will be getting done. So that variation will be that force will exert or create a tensional forces in another two directions, and the expansion of that particular object will be taking place. So when the stretch has been occurred, how much distance the delta s, that is nothing but the new displacement has been considered in that particular object will be identified, and hence that strain gauges are utilized for in our mechatronic devices need to be obtained the standard values or results in the very inconvenient places where the manual entering cannot be getting considered. So hence these strain gauges can be passed within that particular mini or tiny holes and can capture the overall data over there. Next, in this we are having two different types. Strain gauges are subdivided into two different groups. That is unbonded type of strain gauges and bonded type of strain gauges. So in the unbonded type of strain gauges, fine wire filaments are stretched around the rigid and electrically insulated pins on two different films. We'll be looking into the diagram. These are the gauges. So two different connecting rods will be existing and a metal wire, and two filament regions will be identified, and with that the electrical fields will be getting taken place, and one frame will be very much it is a fixed one and one is movable, and these frames will be held with respect to a spring like mechanism that we have been already seen in the diagrammatical process, and will be obtain the results by calculating the relative motion difference between the two particular frames. Simultaneously, the bonded type of strain gauges consists of a resistance elements arranged in the form of a grid or of a fine wire, and we'll be looking here fine wires. Alignment will be getting existed with respect to a flat grid wire, and it may be a platinum or else the copper or even the aluminum. You can utilize depending upon the outcome. Will be utilizing the type of the material. So the strain gauge wire and the basic structure and the backing will be occurring, and particular connecting rods of terminals will be placed over there, and having different classifications within that particular subdivided strain gauges. So bonded type of strain gauges are again subclassified into three different types of characterizations. That is fine wire gauges. Just we have been discussed the connectivity and construction of the fine wire gauges, metal foil gauges, semiconductor filaments. So let us compare the differences between these three different strategies: fine wire gauges, metal foil gauges, and semiconductor filament type of gauges. So fine wire gauges is a wire of 3 to 25 micron diameter, which is arranged in the form of a grid consisting of parallel loops. So there will be a similar containment area, and within that the parallel alignment will be getting considered. So fine wire gauges. Metal foils is having a thin filament foil of metal, and it is gridded in at a pattern, and plastic backing material is used to polymide. So polymiding with respect to a for foil pattern and grid pattern. Sorry, grid pattern. Next, this entire gauge size, which is a major point, 5 to 15 only has to be existed. 5 to 15 nothing but gauge length and thickness. Gauge length is nothing but the thickness should not be exceeded to 5 to 15 Semiconductor filaments. These are the gauges provided with worms from silicon or germanium crystals. So these crystals will be laminated and will be mounted with epoxy resin backings. And the materials used for this backing is copper and next thing nickel. And the gauge length of these particular filaments are 0.05 mm thick and 0.25 mm wide, and 1.25 to 12 mm of length can be existing. And with this, the sensing will be very much strict and will generate the accurate results when in the operational procedures commencement. Moving on with respect to the capacitive sensors. Capacitive sensors are basically used for measuring displacement, velocity, force, even the measuring of quantity, quality also can be identified with respect to our capacitive sensors. The basic principle is that it generates plates to on the plates due to the voltage applied across the plate, which is separated by a dielectric material. So two different plates will be getting obtained, and it is being differentiated or differed with respect to dielectric material, and the input is being obtained applied at two different plates, and the variations will be getting taken place within the dielectric material and exerts the output to the two different plates, and the variations within the diffraction leads to the changes within the metal plates that the input has been commenced. Depending upon that, the changing the distance between the two different plates will be taking place. And in some criteria, the extension of or the deviation or changing the mean distance d between these two different plates will be increased in strategy, or else these plates will be overlapping in nature and even exceeding in nature will be getting considered. By that, the capacitive range will be identified. So it has identified in some different strategies. That is varying of dielectric constant. So by varying the dielectric material also, dielectric material and the material utilized for the statistical plates we are being utilized, or simultaneously the dielectric parameters in the application process depending upon the type of experiment that we are being monitored. So the change in the capacity can be measured due to the change in dielectric constant as per the result displacement. So the displacement as per the displacement commencement, the range will be differ. The material mode due to the displacement causes dielectric constant. So dielectric constant, the that particular change within the dielectric material will leads to the displacement or movement within that particular two plates will give the sensing signal to the controller, and that controller will indicate the values on the display screen. Next one, the push pull sensor. It is used to overcome the non-linearity error. So linearity in the sense we already know that a slight change within the states, positive y, positive z simultaneously, the negative x, y, z elements. So those fluctuations will be controlled by utilizing this push pull sensors. And the formulation indeed to carry or consider, calculate the capacity is C is equal to capacity to C is equal to epsilon or epsilon naught A by D. D is the mean difference between the two different plates, and A is the area that is being taking place within that particular two different plates. Epsilon or and epsilon naught are the input and output electricity that is being developed within the permissivity or dielectric material. Epsilon r is the permissivity of dielectric between the plates. There is with respect to the air, or else when we have been utilized the oil sources, we will be considering the oil source, and oil source will be differing with respect to the value. And upon combination of both source, air, that is nothing but pneumatic source, and oils will be relating to the hydraulic source, and epsilon naught permissivity of the free space, right? Free space of the air. And when we have been considered the value of the air is shown here, and simultaneously when the hydraulic sources are existing, we'll be getting the values depending upon the viscosity of the fluids that we have been utilized in the core region of the materials. So D is the distance between the plates, A is the area of overlap between the two different plates. Next, LVDT, linear variable differential transducer. So transformer, transformer or transducer, whatever it may be. It consists of symmetrically placed coils. These are symmetrically placed coil. The distance will be symmetrical. Why will be calling it symmetrical in the sense the distance between one coil to another coil will be almost equal in range. The center coil is a primary coil. Is a primary coil, and the other two coils, secondary coils, connected to a series position equally positioned. So series and symmetrical parameter is maybe obtained. So the output will be obtained with respect to the displacement of core from the null position. So from the null position to the core, there will be slight variations. So the series connected coils will be acting as the main variations that A and B. The sphere parameters input voltage is provided over here, and when the primary coil gives or ignites the input power supply, there will be a change within the secondary coils that will be getting passed with respect to the two different devices, or the mean differences will be directly connected to the phase sensitive detector. The detector will generate the output values. So the variations that has been occurring within the primary coil and secondary coils will leads to the displacement of this particular entire setup towards either positive axis or towards the negative axis. So in the forward direction, it will be moving on to the positive axis. In the reverse or counterclockwise direction movement, that is negative axis. So the movement of sliding or rotation, there is a linear action or the angular actions that need to be grasped and identified, and that will be identified with respect to the phase sensitive detector, which records the output and even displayed in the display screen also as well. So these are the different types of sensors that are being utilized in various fields or various manufacturing accessories as per the required operational procedure need to be maintained. So we have already discussed that dynamical mode of action, statistical mode of actions, and even the proximity range of sensors. All right. Thank you.